sisters are crying. Feeling the pain. Used and abused. Washed up and flushed down the drain. I tell you, they're all in Babylon. It's obvious where I stand. They can't see reality as the best thing for men, and that's because
10 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour. Good afternoon to our listeners. Wherever you are at this point in time, top of the afternoon to you, those listening on CRFM, those listening on Labby 1 FM, and also Sister Isles inside of Carriacou. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to Independent Talk for yet another day. We do apologize for that late start, because I was giving my my co-broadcasters and co-hosts, you call them, I was giving them the opportunity to get here, and I just realized that, hey, can't really stick to that. We'll have to start the program at 1 o'clock because we have that sort of an obligation with other stations at this particular point in time. So it falls on me to start the program at the said time and not necessarily wait for them. So wait until they join us. Well, to wait until they join us would not be the best thing. So what would happen is that I would start, and when they join, and we'll just continue the discussion. So good afternoon to you, and how you doing this afternoon? Trust that things are going fine with you. In case you're wondering, it's only 11 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour. Andre down on my side. And what do we do at this particular point in time? Meaning, what do we discuss? Well, we do discuss a number of different things. That's what we do. We discuss loads of things. Things that are happening socially, things that are happening politically, and otherwise, things as it relates to the development of the nation. We do that too. We look at all different aspects and all things in all different walks of life. To those of you who listened to Stedlin, is only one person here, so it's not gentleman as yet, Stedlin Isaac. To those of you who are able to listen to Carl this morning, I think that he had a very good program, and I liked his tone, especially this morning. So I look forward to hearing him again next Sunday as it relates to his program, which is called The First Reading with Master Carl on a Sunday morning. Now, I was speaking to a gentleman this morning, KB actually. I was speaking to him this morning because sometimes I take the opportunity to give him a call, and he was telling me about his goats, and he had a ram for me, and he was going to give me the ram when it was ready to be eaten so I could kill it and eat all for myself. Yeah, I love that. Thanks, KB. But get here. I prefer you get in here. Now, in any event, part of the conversation had to do with something which was rather alarming to me. Alarming in the sense that it happened in Grenada, right? And it has to do with a businessman being attacked earlier on in the week. And when I questioned KB as to who that businessman was, it was somebody who does business in the parish of St. Andrew, Grenville to be exact, in the town. And he explained to me that the Chinese who apparently owned the restaurant, they were attacked by someone. So I was like, I can't believe that. We don't do these things. The days of these things are over. A fight or so you could understand. But attacking a businessman? I have not heard about that for a very, very, a very long time. Anybody would have attacked somebody like that. And that to me would make some nice discussion when KB gets here, because he would have more details. As I said, that happened in the parish of St. Andrew. And I don't want us to beat up on St. Andrew as a parish. No, that is definitely not a reflection of the people of St. Andrew. And it, by extension, is not a reflection of the people of Grenada. No, it's not a reflection of us. We don't do these sort of things. It's rather strange to me. So I kind of want to leave it to when KB gets in. That will be one of the first things that I will hop on and say, hey, bro, what's with that? What happened there? So that to me is something we'll talk about. So let's leave that one there. Other things that I would have picked up we had the situation where the gentleman would have gotten shot and died right here in St. Patrick's, yes. And it's a gentleman that was a gentleman that was mentally challenged, and what you'll call the inquest. There will be an inquest that will be done, and then that information, I believe, can be made public. I'm subject to a correction here, and that information can be made public, meaning that particular inquest. So, from all indication, the gentleman seems to have attacked the police and or was advancing. Let me not say attack. Was advancing on the police with what is claimed to be a weapon. Police have not identified whether or not it is a deadly weapon, but a weapon. He was advancing on the police, and it was a situation where the police had to protect himself, and that young man was shot, and that shot led to his death. I know it's going to be a very hard time for the relatives and friends of that gentleman. It's going to be a very tough time. We know, and what we would like happen is that you, meaning the people of St. Patrick, those of you who pray, not all do, but those of you who pray would pray for the family to find some sort of a closure as quickly as possible, and also that the family and friends too of the police who would have had to, in his exercising his duty, in carrying out his duties, that family too would find some sort of a closure, because don't think it's any easy thing. Don't think it's any easy thing for anybody to deal with having discharged a weapon and somebody dying as a result of that person discharging their weapon. And then look at it this way. The children of that person who would have discharged the weapon, they are not left out of it, because it will go wrong as to who discharged the weapon. And then other children could point to them and say, your father killed a man. And that is a devastating thing for the children of the person who would have discharged the weapon, albeit in his line of duty. Imagine the wife or the girlfriend of that person who would have discharged that weapon, she having to lie in bed, and she may even, cringe at being touched by that person. So it's a whole, it's not just a cut and dry thing. It's not cut and dry for the person, the relatives and friends of the person who would have died, and it's definitely ain't cut and dry for the person who would have discharged the weapon, albeit in the line of duty. So we have to come together as a parish on this one. We have to come together, offer support to the family and friends and relatives of the person who would have died. You can say he was mentally challenged, you can say anything you want. However, a life is a life. So we need to offer that sort of a support. And remember that the state saw him as an important person. And I'll explain to you why. Quickly, he was a beneficiary of the government assistance program. So that means that he was not just a statistic for the state. The state ensured that that gentleman who lost his life, had money in his hands to do different things, albeit some of them may not have been legal, but that's beside the point. But the state ensured that he was taken care of. So we have to understand that he is important. He's not just a statistic. No. And as I said, the policeman, he is important too, because remember, the motto of the police is to protect and to serve. Now, if in the line of duty of protecting. Somebody gets injured or somebody is killed. We have to do the inquest, yes, to prove that that was the only thing that the policeman could have done. That brute force, if that's how you call it, was the last thing on the occasion, and that is what happened at that particular point in time. So I just thought I'd raise those two. The one out of St. Andrew, which KB and Richard, they're here. We're going to take a break and they'll come in. But the one out of St. Andrew, that one, and then the one out of St. Patrick, which of course led to the death of the gentleman. So we'll be back. Stay with us. This is real. This is 91.9 FM Independent Talk for a Sunday. 21 after 1.
Washed up and flushed down the drain, I tell you, they're all in Babylon. It's obvious where I stand. They can't see reality as the best thing for man, and that's because they're not dealing with the real issues. Treating our people like
The New World Order has only created disorder. Unions are formed for men to speak as one. NATO to ensure that no one country has autonomy over the other. United Nations to address issues of war, famine and disasters. Commercially, NAFTA and WTO are designed to protect us from ourselves. But still, they do not deal with the real issues.
It is real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www. 23 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour on a good-looking, bright and sunny, almost cloudless Sunday afternoon. Brilliant sunshine. Yeah, blue. I like the color blue. Not me alone, you know. I can tell you that my good friend Richard, he too likes the color blue because you see, you've seen him there now. He's dressed in a blue T-shirt. Good afternoon to you, Richard. How are you doing? Well, I'm hoping, and I want our listeners to point out very quickly, I'm hoping and praying that your microphone is working as it should be working this afternoon. I'm hoping and praying for that. Yeah, I have. I hope that it is working today. I'm not even going to go into that. I'm not even going to take you up on that one. So the next thing is to say good afternoon to he wearing a multitude of colors. Good afternoon to you, Kennedy Butler.
Good afternoon, my friend Andrew Donald. I like your shirt, black and white.
That's not black, KB.
Of course.
That's blue.
Blue, it looks black. From my distance, it looks black.
Well, you're distant? Well, your side go... I didn't say your side.
Yeah, but I'm getting old, you know. My sight I'll be dim.
Yeah.
You know.
You definitely couldn't have been...
The only thing I'm still reading without the glasses.
What?
So I'm still reading without glasses.
Can you vote without the glasses?
Of course, yeah, you mean.
So they could keep their glasses.
Yeah,
you'll vote
still. My dear fellow. You know.
All right, so those of you who will not see me, you know I'm blue and white. And that's because I've trained the two cameras. Suppose I have three cameras working, but we have the two trained on both of you. Both KB and Richard. All right, so people are seeing you guys looking rather handsome. How's your wife, Richard?
She's okay,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Everybody else home cool?
Yeah, I know. phone. She was the service this morning. You know, this morning she said, Richard, you going to sell us? I said, no, you know. She said,
No.
I said, here, you know. My foot, you know, give me a small, you know, clean. So, yeah, no. So, you went on the program today.
She got you there.
Yes.
She got you there.
So
Somebody says Richard mic is not working, but somebody says yes it is, and I'm frustrated. Honestly, I'm really frustrated now. I really don't know what to do again in relation. I'll have to fire the engineer. Your mic seems to be working beautiful, KB. Somebody said Messi's mic is not working. Okay, here is this. To those of you who believe, who are saying that Messi's mic is not working, can you go to Real FM's website and listen the program from the website, or can you go to YouTube? Because it's me, and based on what I'm seeing, those of you claiming that it's not working, you're listening on Facebook. Can you go to YouTube and listen to it there, or can you go to Real FM's website, www.therealfmgrenada.com? Right. So yeah, listen to the program on the website, and that way you will Sheldon terrestrial radio is fine, is lovely. So listen to the program, on the website www.therealfmgrenada.com. You'll see it there, and you can listen to the program right there. Errol Bonaparte, good afternoon to you, and all those of you who working with us with this, I really do appreciate. Here's where we start this afternoon at 27 minutes after 1 o'clock. KB, we were conversing this morning in relation, and because you were telling me that there was an incident in Grenville.
Yeah.
Where exactly did that happen? Let's start with that bit of it. Where in Grenville did this particular situation take place?
I don't know exactly, but I think the Chinese was on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
When
let's tell it where it happened. Let's not
St. Andrews.
Where?
Andrew, with information reaching me, you know, it's somewhere around the old church area.
Somewhere around the old church area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they live on that lane up there.
Cook Hill Road?
Yeah, they live up there.
Okay, so they live at Cook Hill Road.
Yeah.
So it will be in that.
Yeah.
What time?
After 11.
After 11. But that area is a fully lit area. There are a lot of lights around there.
the houses around there.
Houses around there. Okay, Sheldon, thanks for telling me it's not on the YouTube. We'll have to sort that. So it's YouTube and Facebook giving that bother. So friends, I want to point you. Sheldon, can you come on the live? Yes, Sheldon, can you come on the live and point to the website, please, Sheldon? Yeah. Yeah, because I can't type right now. So I know you. So point and send the link both to the live and to the WhatsApp chat, Sheldon. Thank you very much. You're such a wonderful young man. Yeah, so it happened around the old church area at about 11 o'clock. What night was it?
It was Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah.
So KB, give us an idea of what happened.
What I heard is
What you heard, yeah.
they ambushed the Chinese. You know, these people who had that
It was Jack and his mom.
Jack and his mom. They
Jack?
Yeah, Jack and his mom.
Jack is a Grenadian, you know. Jack is not a Chinese.
Well,
He may have Chinese features, but Jack is a Grenadian. Jack went to school in SAS, didn't he? Yeah, Jack went to KB. You didn't know that?
No, I thought it was imported Chinese.
No. Jack went to school in SAS.
Yeah.
Well, when they say Chinese, I expect was imported Chinese. Chinese man.
Jack went to school
in SAS.
at SAS. I know that for a fact. I don't know what age he came here or whatever. Was he born here? I don't know, but I know he went to school at SAS.
So he's a real Grenadian.
Well, he's a Grenadian. He know Telescope Bridge.
So they ambush him and take his money, chop him up.
Not him.
What went on? Because at that time.
Somebody's saying before you go on, Richard, they're saying it's close to the The church, the old church.
The old church, yeah.
Yeah, it's close to that, yeah.
You know, so now, what went on? I was on a mall.
Okay.
We had a function. Every Friday.
Yeah, function.
They do a pizza place down there.
Pizza place, where's
Yeah,
that? I didn't know. Free advertisement? Okay, go ahead.
That's where Dylan has his place down there.
Oh, Dylan Felix.
Yeah.
Former national athlete.
Yeah, so I usually be there on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now, after 11, that's when it done. But then Jack and his mom was walking home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's when the person attacked them. You know, shot his mom in her head.
Wow.
Yeah, and on the shoulder, Jack cut on the shoulder. You know, they were there for a while. And they ran with the bag.
Well, the person, the perpetrator, the
person
they got
get
the
bag?
money.
Yeah, no, but not money. The bag basically had content like the key for the house
Mm-hmm.
and the key for the van.
That's all?
Yeah, basically.
They don't get money?
If they get married $5, well,
Kimmy, they will not
carry money with
carry
them.
money at home, you know.
Walk home with it within
They
night?
probably deposited already in the bank.
No,
Okay, let's just leave it at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They don't get no money.
no.
So all the thief get is keys.
Yes, the keys for the house and the keys for the van. That's why now they had to stay there for a long while. You understand? Before they get assistance, you know, trying to bring to the hospital. Otherwise, probably Jack would have used it to be able to go to the hospital. You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
So where they are awarded in St. George's?
Yeah, they are at St. John's Hospital.
They
Critical or just serious
But
condition?
the mom was more severe.
Okay.
You know?
she get cut in the head.
Yeah, she was more severe. You know? More severe.
I don't think the Chinese are accustomed with cutlass.
And that's what they
KB, stop it. That's not.
Of course, you see what happened.
We're serious.
Of course, but you see what happened. Cutlass is a deadly weapon. Grenadier are accustomed with weapon.
Yeah, but
White people are accustomed with.
That's
You know,
not
and so
white
not so. This kind of people are accustomed with people approaching them with this deadly weapon.
Are you
If it's
crazy?
a gun,
Hold on. Both of you, hold on. KB, if Jack went to school in Grenada and he had two brothers who also went to school at GSS, trust me, they know about cutlass. It's not Chinese that arrived yesterday. If one went to school in SAS and two went to school at GSS, ain't Chinese that arrived yesterday. They've been here for a while.
Yeah.
So they know about cutlasses.
And Andrew, and what, you know,
Stable condition they're in.
and you know, they're so accustomed with, because Grenada is not a kind of
violent place.
violent place, you know. So no, they are very cold because they're very comfortable, you know, walking home after doing business at night. You know, because that's a regular routine.
They walk home,
They walk home.
and then the bandit approach,
Yeah.
chop them up, hoping to get some money.
Anybody detained for questioning?
Okay. I do not have no information on if anybody was detained.
Mm-hmm.
At present.
You?
No, and you know, I'm just concerned that I don't want it to appear that the Chinese was, you know, just selected for attack. Because recently I saw on Facebook where a Chinese and a Grenadian end up in confrontation in a vehicular accident. Then they try to cool the Grenadian and he approached the Chinese, feel he could beat the Chinese man. And the Chinese man give him 2 coffee, fall on the ground. Live on Facebook. And some people start saying, hey, those Chinese want to come here and do what they want. But the man was the Grenadian was the aggressive one. And we have to understand, whether you're Chinese, whether you're Indian, whether Syrian or African, and you are citizen of this country, or whether you are tourist, the law, you deserve protection under the law. Like Grenadian go abroad in America, they get citizenship, the American system had to protect them. Grenadian go abroad in England, they get citizenship, that system had to protect them. So you can't come and say them Chinese come here doing what they want. So you could treat them with scant courtesy. We can't operate so. If the law is there to protect everybody. And it looks bad, shameful, You understand? Someone who invests in doing something for a living, and the bandit will just wait. Peaceful citizen walking home and chop them with a cutlass, hoping you could get some money. I hope they caught up with this person and apply the full force of the law.
I just my thing is that I'm just saying that something like this can happen to almost anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
So it should never be read as an attack on our Asian friends or the Asian community. It's just that the perpetrator, the bandit, saw an opportunity, thought that he was going to get money. All he got was keys and a cell phone, based on what somebody just sent me here. Keys and a cell phone, and, you know, unfortunately, Jack and his mom, they were injured. However, based on what Jack is doing good, he's doing great, but the mom, she's being transferred to another medical station so that the father can be with her. As you know, it does not allow for that at general, so she was transferred where she will get the best of attention, I do believe, and you know, the father can be with her. So I don't know. Anybody wants to say anything else on that?
I just want to ask the public to cooperate, give the police any information, because as Mr. Donald said, it could happen to anybody. Your family going home at night, somebody could just ambush them, just believe they have some quantity of money and chop them up. So what happened to Jack and his mom would happen to our family. So we have to be our brother's keeper and give the police, cooperate the police, give them any information. So that people of that kind should be put behind bars, take them away from the public. They don't deserve to be in the public.
Okay, so with that, I'd like us to put a sort of a closure on this
on
one.
Jack.
You know, instead of just going on and on about it, I think we need to close that. And we empathize with the family, and knowingly that Jack is doing well and not necessarily in any danger, but the mother is still, you know, in hospital, and we empathize with them and wish them all the best. All right, and don't forget, all you could go and buy me what food did I say? Yeah, buy Chinese. What do you want them?
Chopping.
Crazy.
Yes.
Let's bring it, and yes, I have to bring it home to St. Patrick. You know, an incident which took place earlier on, well, last week, because today is the beginning of another week, and we had unfortunate incident where at the end of the day, a young man is dead, having been shot by the police. What I can say from what I know, the young man is mentally challenged, and based on what I would have heard from persons who were there, I've not had an official report from the police, but based on what I would have heard, it was a situation that the young man was advancing on the police, and the police did ask that he drop the weapon on more than one occasion. And it is being said, I have not been able to confirm this part, that the police tripped, and in tripping, and realizing that the person was advancing on him, pulled his weapon and discharged. And as a result, the young man is now dead. Of course, there's going to be a coroner's inquest. Inquest, yes, there's going to be an inquest in relation to. So we can't really put anything on it right now. It's still unsolved, you call it? Is that how it's called, Richard? It's they're still under investigation, and pretty soon they will release the results of the inquest. I take this opportunity on behalf of this station to empathize with the police officer and his relatives and friends. Empathize because they will be under a sort of a traumatic situation presently, and to sympathize with the relatives and friends of the person who died, because at the end of the day, you know, he is a human being. KB?
Yeah, we're not in a position to judge, to say who right and who wrong. What I would like to see happen in the future, the last thing we want is a police officer to pull his gun, discharge his weapon, and somebody dead. How we could avoid those things from happening in the future? Let's give nearly every police officer who want to go out on duty, get a taser from them. Get something that could really demobilize that person. This, render them, incapable of attacking the police or causing harm to anybody. So I would like the police force to invest money in something of the sort. Then the last thing we want is people getting shot by the police. It have to be the last resort. If you could invest in taser, invest in it to protect the life of us, of our community. And one person gets shot is one too much. And we don't want a bad image for this police force. They're doing too well. Good reputation. We're proud of them. But if now and then, and it become a regular, citizen getting shot, whether the citizens are wrong or not, all the concern is police shoot somebody, and give a bad image to our police force. We don't want that. So I suggest we should do something about it. Pulling your firearm should be the very last resort.
Well, before you say anything, Richard, I know you'd have something to say, but I'd like to say that it was, but by all indication, it was the last resort by that particular police officer. Just to drop a bit here, KB. Remember there was an incident in Riverside where a policeman got his head busted? Based on my investigation, it looks like it was the same police who got his head busted. And at that time, it is believed that he didn't even draw a weapon. So it looks like it was the last resort. We don't want anybody dead, but it looks like it was the last resort. And while I love your invest in tasers, it is a good thing to do. It is a good thing to do. But you made a statement that the policemen should be given tasers to walk with. You're forgetting that sometimes there are people with guns. So we have to be very careful as to how we strike the balance. If you, because I've said, if there's a call and somebody is mentally deranged, I would like to see tasers, but at the same time, of one or two, let's say two officers going with tasers, there should be one officer with a pistol. And that officer should be in a position to react. Realize I did not say act, to react should the situation get out of control with the tasers. Richard?
Yeah, I support what you're saying there, Andrew. Because when KB was saying teasers, because I see it, okay, like when you go on patrol, right? Yes, we got teasers, but we must have an officer, with a weapon. Because there's time when situation arises, you have to.
You have to use what force again?
Some people might say excessive force,
Yeah, some sort of force, but a force has to be used at some times.
You understand? Yeah, you have to use it. So you got to save your life also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to save your life. You have to protect your life first and foremost. Your life has to be protected, and then because it's only then you can protect the life of others, right? You must make sure that you are safe, and then you can make others safe, right? So you protect, and you serve to make sure that others, are protected and are safe. So it's unfortunate. It's rather unfortunate that something like that should happen. And I believe that sooner rather than later, there will be something said by the police and in relation to probably giving an indication as to where do we go from here as it relates to dealing with mentally challenged individuals. There will be something, I guess, sooner rather than later in relation to where do we go from here. It's 15 minutes now before the 2 o'clock. I'll just let that caller who's online know that we do not open our phone lines not until 2 o'clock. We take the time to chit-chat about a couple of things, and then we look towards open our phone line at 2 o'clock. Andrew Donald together with Richard Messi Thomas and Kennedy Jack Budlal. KB, what else took place?
Andre, I don't know if you will permit me, but I want to address that situation we have in St. Patrick West.
What situation is that?
Well, I'll explain.
Okay.
I think I'm mature enough to explain, I'll give my own opinion of St. Patrick West, in the NNP camp. Now, I will be, dealing with that situation with a kind of lump in my stomach, honestly. And I want to call on the people in St. Patrick West, those people with big ego, please, don't put your ego above the good of the party and the good of the country. Don't put your narrow, selfish position above the party and the national good. We want everybody, all NNP in St. Patrick West, to come together and ensure victory at the poll for the NNP, whoever is the candidate in St. Patrick West. We cannot afford any clique or any fraction fighting over a pot of food. We have seen it in the past. Next thing, you all fight, the pot of food fall down, and nobody get nothing to it. We have seen it in the revolution. The bishop fraction and the code fraction fighting over a pot of food. Somebody kick it down, all food fall, they starve. We have seen it in NDC, fighting over a pot of food. Like two goats on a rack, and in some case, when you believe the stronger one boot the weaker one and he fall in the water, sometimes two of them fall in the water. Both of them fall in the water. That is why I'm appealing to St. Patrick West to come together. Let peace start with you first. Yourself. Let peace start with you. Don't wait until the next man talk peace. You talk peace. And pull all yourself together. And ensure there is unity in the NNP camp in St. Patrick West. We have to understand. When there is any new person coming on board.
Let me let you know this, Kid, before you go on.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Don't shout at us.
Okay, thank you.
When
any new person coming on board, the style would be different. You understand? Some people will like them, some would not. I remember when we decided to elect Dr. Mitchell as the leader of the New National Party. Some people said, no way, I could not walk under Kit Mitchell. Pauline Andrew said, no, I'm going. Mr. W say he going. This one said they going. They can stand Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell go take out Mr. Blaze's face and put his face. So they're not prepared. So they take the PP and go. You understand? We have to understand people's style different. But that doesn't mean they don't mean good. And I want to appeal you. Those people that work, you have people in St. Patrick West, especially those who support Mr. Boson. They work hard. They make sacrifice. They face abuse, humiliation. You can just brush them aside. You have to give them credit. You want them, if they move out with all the dignity from any position.
Do you believe that you would have made your point?
I do finish. Let me finish make my point.
Because you okay, go
I
ahead.
make my point,
Go
you
ahead.
know.
That's why I ask you, do you believe that you're finished?
I'm-
and you said no, and I agree with you.
Yes,
If you haven't finished, then proceed.
Yes, I proceeded.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm calling on those people who vex and know people vex. Because I feel kind of embarrassed when I'm traveling on the bus and they could go say, hey, KB boy, why you setting all the problem in the West? And this one saying, I said, look, in every party, you will have little upheaval.
But you don't
But it's
live
how
in
you
the-
manage it.
You don't live in the West.
Close, bordering the West and the East. Bordering the West and
just-
East, yes. And Belmont is between, across the river is
No.
no.
No. You're
it's
fully
east.
inside the East.
The
Where you
east,
live,
yeah,
you're
yes, the
fully
east.
inside the East.
In
Just
Boy St. Patrick's.
Know your boundaries.
Yes, you're right. You're
Know
right.
your
In the
boundaries.
East.
Because I'm
In the
just
East.
waiting
You
for you that
understand?
you are fully inside the East.
I agree with you.
So you maybe you probably should have said, Andre, what is going on?
Yes.
Before you do so and you blow up.
No.
Because I don't think that the situation necessitates that you blow up on it. But again, I don't want to stop you from what you're saying.
You see what happened? I know there is time when something happened like that. We quick to sweep it under the carpet and pretend it don't exist.
Are you trying to tell me I'm doing that? No.
No, I say when situation
Oh,
happen like
okay.
that.
I just want to make sure that you know
we
I'm not
quick
doing that.
to sweep it under the carpet and pretend it don't exist. I remember we had things brewing up like that in the revolution between the Bonner Code fraction and the Bishop fraction. We try to hide it from everybody, political activists, PRA. Don't worry, man, a little problem there. Not me go solve it. Until it explode in our face. Explode in our face. Like a volcano. We experience that explosion more shattering, devastating than any other time in our history. Our history knew of no similar experience. So I always say to myself, KB, never again.
Again, you're shouting at me.
Okay. I say, KB, never again. But I'll be careful how I deliver. Make sure I don't antagonize anybody. Make sure I'm not malicious and and sarcastic. But ask for peace. Ask for unity. You understand? In the interest of the NNP.
I think it's time for me to speak.
I finish.
Yeah, good. I'm happy that you have.
Yeah, finish.
To say this, the first thing that we have to understand that if we speak here in relation to democracy, there'll be one place where I can start with this. But I want to start here, and then I'll come back to that. I am not aware. I am a constituent registered to vote in St. Patrick East, a member of the NNP, and I am not aware that there is any fight, as you put it, or confusion, as you put it, in St. Patrick West. I am not aware of that. No, let's start. A couple months ago, there was a meeting where elections were held, and Mr. Philip, Senator Philip, was elected by the constituents as the caretaker. After that, a couple days after that election took place, I had an interview with the general secretary of the party, and he pointed out that based on the constitution of the party, the person who is elected as caretaker may not end up being the person who is the candidate come nomination day. Because that's when you get to who the candidate really and truly is in black and white. That the candidate is John Jones or Peter Thomas, not your family. Now, Mr. Bowler said to me, he says, Andre, yes, Mr. Philip is the elected caretaker, but he now has to work in the constituency. The others or any other person can work in the constituency, but it is left up to the constituents and the selection committee that is put together by the executive
Or the party?
of the party. It is left up to them because they will be monitoring what is going on in the constituency, and thus they can do so and say, okay, fine, we will go forward with the elected candidate, or we need to call the elected caretaker, or we need to call the caretaker in and say, well, okay, fine, we'd like to see you doing more of this or more of that, and we understand how we go forward here. Now, this is how I understand it to be. So at present, when you say that there is a fight, what you're doing is kicking democracy in the face. And when you draw the parallel with the revolution, no. If we believe in the democracy and there are comments of others who may want to end up being the caretaker or may want to end up being the candidate on that day, or when the selection committee together with the party make the executive of the party make their decision, it should not be considered as a quarrel. Why should we do so and say it's a quarrel? It is democracy at work. Yeah, Mr. Butler?
I say no more.
Okay. Okay. So we can close that.
Yeah, I could close that if you want.
Okay, real 91 point. And here's somebody pointing out to us quickly that a gentleman, deceased Gabriel Henry, was caretaker for St. David's twice, in 2008 and 2013, and he never made candidate. He was replaced in 2008. He was replaced by Devon. And in 13, he was replaced by Oliver Joseph.
Devon died?
No,
Devon
Devon
Roche.
Roche.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Devon Roche died.
Okay.
Right? So, what we have to do, yes, there will be tuggings here and there within the party. We are not a stagnant party like that. There will be things happening. However, the opposition should know that come elections day, we voting, how they used to say it back in Gary time, we vote in the star, we vote in the star election, we vote in the house, we vote in the house on election day. That is what is instructive, you know. That is what is instructive. This is not a situation where there is a meeting and there is a posse, a Soca Monarch posse that side, and there's a posse the other side, and there is a person of interest causing bad word on that side, and then when they have elections in the constituency, that one person end up with the executive on their side. This is not what's happening, you know. This is just discussion taking place. And we ain't dead.
Democracy at work.
Democracy totally at work. We ain't dead. So you have to take this back to the person who spoke to you. You have to take this back to the person who spoke to you and say to them, NNP is alive and kicking. We're not dead. We will have disagreements. We are allowed to have disagreements. It is okay. You will tell me, Andre, lively discussion must take place. How then, if lively discussion has to take place, KB, you want it to stop? That's what you're crying for, you know? to stop the lively discussion. This is oxygen for us to breathe. Good afternoon, Mr. Budlal.
Breathe your oxygen.
Breathe me oxygen. So, you see, that is what happens when you shut him up.
Brilliant, you shut me up.
But
You put me on mute.
There's no constituency unified more than St. Patrick's West. You believe that? There's no constituency more unified than St. Patrick's West. There was what? Let me tell you something.
Let the people in St. Patrick's West, the NNP in St. Patrick's West, be the judge, not me.
Not you.
No.
I can speak.
Yes.
Richard can speak. You, Osh. Leave us alone.
No, NNP, leave NNP alone?
No, leave us alone.
No, what?
You just said, hold
Yes,
on. You just said, let the people in St. Patrick's West talk.
Be the judge.
Right.
Yes.
So I have
But you can't tell me
the
to.
right. Hush.
If I were doing stupidness, you can't tell me to hush.
We don't doing stupidness. We're not doing stupidness. We well good. You understand? We ain't doing no stupidness. What you need to do is to stand by the sideline and enjoy the show. Yeah, you're spectator.
I don't care what I do. Just make sure I win.
We will win.
I just won the 15.
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind
Yeah.
about our victory.
Okay.
Either way it goes, whether Tom, Dick, Harry, Mary, Jane end up being the candidate, we will win, and we will put this constituency
In the column.
of the new National Party.
Great. All glory and praise to you all.
What's that?
I say all glory and praise. I love that statement. Put it in the column of the new National Party. That is the goal. And win by a bigger margin.
Our whole aim is to get all
15 seats. Vincent Lee. And I have confidence. Once we put our narrow, selfish interests aside and we go for the national good, we get in the 15 seats.
Greater good for the greater number of
Yes.
people. So what else? Let me hear you. I wait. You and your little white paper. Where your white paper? Wave it. Let them people see.
I don't wave it. I don't wave
Let
it.
them people see. Where your white paper? Let me see it. Raise it up. Let me see it.
Lick a bit.
All
Not
right. So,
plenty.
what do you have on your white paper again?
Well,
Just to let folks know that it's gone past 2:00. So it's okay for you to call now.
Yeah.
You can call in now.
What is it my friend Judge Ram have with Nimrod?
With Nimrod.
He is the caretaker, the recently appointed caretaker.
Not
in
appointed.
Elected. Sorry about that. My apology.
Don't get this thing twisted.
Elected caretaker.
Right. Get that correct.
St. George's Notice. Why is it he keep beating up on this goodly gentleman?
I will say,
Have you looked at? Hold on. Let me just draw one. Have you looked at football?
Yes.
What's his name from Brazil? What's the guy name?
Pele?
Not Pele. Or any one of the forward liners from
Neymar?
Neymar. Before Neymar has a ball in the foot, they kick him down.
yeah. Afraid.
Okay.
Because they're afraid.
I get you. I get
Because
you.
they know
I
it's
get you.
Oh, yeah.
I get you now.
Before Messi,
Yeah. He had to go down.
he had to go down.
Pele get out of break foot.
Yeah.
Put him down.
That's what it is. Interesting. It is a tad more difficult to put down Nimrod Olivier. This is not just a football match with Nimrod. He is not a forward liner who just come on the scene. He's been there. He's been there years doing all sorts of things. Giving out football boots, ensuring people have money for children to go to school, giving out computers. You name it, and he has done it. Giving out hampers. For over 3-4 years now, he's been giving hampers to people, ensuring that some people have a ham. As a matter of fact, his order, I can tell you this from because I know him. We count his order on hams because of the whole shipment thing in the United States
Yeah.
with all the boats and things, his order for hams was not the amount that he wanted. And to ensure that everybody had a piece of salt ham in their house so they could share with their relatives and their families inside of the house, he cut them in two. That's what he had to do to ensure that everybody got a piece of the pie.
Great.
So he's not a footballer you could just kick down just so. So why is it, what you were saying?
Judge Ram,
Yeah, what you were saying?
I want to know why is it Judge Ram attacking him?
With what?
You know?
I don't know if I didn't know.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever he happened in the United States, whether if he shot somebody as a police officer.
Oh, that?
Yes.
Oh, well, you see, what if George believed that that will do so and cause Nimrod to lose votes? Right? That in itself will cause Nimrod, people to realize that, hey, this is a gentleman who's willing to sacrifice his life for people. Because in case you don't know, one of the things that I do a lot of times is when Nimrod surfaced, not for the NNP, when Nimrod surfaced with things like White in the Moonlight, where he was the main promoter behind this, I was like, who is this guy? So I started researching. And I'm like, okay, so he's a police. You understand? And although he didn't advertise with me for White in the Moonlight, well, that was nothing. I'll deal with him for that one of these days. But he's a police. I'm like, okay. And then one day I buck up on a story on was the New York Times. Same place where George Ram
Yes.
got his story. I knew about this years ago because this incident would have taken place, I think it was back in 2000, if I'm not mistaken. That's when that would have taken place because Nimrod would have been about 3 years and he spent 25 years. So yeah, he would have been 3 years in the force when that incident you were speaking of took place. And it was a situation where he was doing additional, and again, working harder. It shows you that this man is a hard worker. Here's what. Yes, he's a member of the NYPD. But in his off time, because you are allowed to, in the off time, you do moonlighting duties, they call it. So you can go, just like it's done in Grenada.
Yeah.
There are officers who get, what? Special duties
Yes.
to go different places. And he was on that. He was on that. Don't remember exactly where, because I'm trying to pull it together all together. Because I read this thing long time ago, KB. He was on that. He was doing these duties when two guys came into the store where he was working. And there was this technique, and I spent some years in New York, and you learn all sorts of techniques. For instance, you see the alarms on the clothing and so on?
Yeah.
All right, there are different ways. Like there was an alarm they came out with one year, and bloody hell, people would say that, Andre, you're the bandit. No, I just happen to know the bandits. Yeah, there was an alarm they came out with one time, and in order to stop the alarm from making noise, you had to dip it in milk. You could dip it in water and it'll continue making noise. Juice making noise. Milk, whoop, stop. Don't ask me how I know that. No, I was never a bandit. No, right? So what the guys used to do, right? What the guys used to do was they would come inside
The store.
the store. When they come inside the storage shed, the alarm goes off. Because they would have an alarm on them. They'd have the thing that would alarm, they'll have one of those things on them coming in. So when they come in and you hear it and you look at them and they raise up their hand, they're just coming in. So they don't know why.
Yeah.
the alarm went off. So you just tell them, okay, fine, go on, because they are just coming into the store.
Yeah.
Now, when they're coming back out, Richard,
You-
if the alarm goes off, what would you do?
It will stop them, but since that when they come in,
You're going to say, okay, don't worry, go ahead.
Yeah.
That was a technique too. Now, don't ask me how I know that.
So when they're going out of the store, the alarm's supposed to be
Well, the
Supposed to
alarm,
go on.
it will go off.
go off?
When they're going out, because yes, remember that they came in. Okay, it's like you come in and you have something that will alarm
Yeah.
when it hits the alarm, because you're walking through the alarm to come in.
Yeah.
The machine to come in. So I am there and you come in and you raise your hands.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing you just coming in. So I'm saying that
clear.
you're clear because you're just coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you put something in your pocket
Yeah.
or in your bag and you're going back outside and the alarm goes again, when I look at you and I see you, I just tell you, don't worry, go ahead.
Yeah, because he went on.
Went off with you. Sir.
Okay. So that's what happened.
That is what happened, is that is the stunt they pulled. But apparently, Nimrod and the clerk in the store, they knew of it. So Nimrod and the clerk approached and there was struggle. Nimrod got hit in the mouth and thing according to the issue. I remember, look at my friend here telling me it happened in Fulton Mall. Depot telling me that. So that guy in question was armed. So too was Nimrod. And based on what I know, KB, the gentleman fired his gun about 5 to 6 times. About 5 to 6 times he fired that weapon.
Where he fight in the air at him.
At Nimrod. They were fighting.
And how he miss?
That's the question. That's what you need to do. Maybe when you meet up with God one day, you'll ask him, how come that guy missed Nimrod? And Nimrod drew his gun and discharged once. The other guy ran, took the gun, and ran. The other one died. I think he was in hospital, or on his way to hospital. He died.
So?
Well, not just so. Look at it this way. That happened when Nimrod was 3 years into the force, eh?
Yeah.
Nimrod retired from the force after 25 years,
Yes.
and he retired as a lieutenant with all sorts of accolades. So how does that create a problem for Elvin Nimrod? Not Elvin, for
Judge what?
Nimrod Oliver. How does that create a problem for
I don't
for
see it a
Nimrod?
problem.
Exactly.
I don't see it as a... I tell you, eh?
So you see, hold on, Kevin. When you come in, I'm like, that? But I know what that since King Hatchet was a damn hammer. There's nothing in it.
Do you know if Nimrod was not the caretaker for St. George's Northeast? I thought Judge Ram was going to bring up this thing.
Well, yes, that is what people should know. So the Northeast, meaning St. George Northeast, and by extension, Grenada, should feel very, very comfortable to have someone like Nimrod on their side. Why? He is willing to stand up and give his life for you, because he was in a position where he was willing to give his life to protect where he was working.
Yeah.
You get me? I mean, you tell me that this is on the papers, and if I had to tell Nimrod anything now, I just tell him, anybody ask you that, say, check the NYPD.
Of course.
Check the NYPD. What they should do, not just check the article, because these things usually, not usually, definitely, there will be footage.
Yeah.
There will be footage, and that footage will be with the NYPD. Ask for it. That's what they should do. Don't just do so and print a story to give people, You understand? To give people an impression that Nimrod is a killer. No, he's not a killer. He discharged his weapon and someone died. The person fired at him first, more than once. So ask for the footage. That is what George Worm should do. Find the footage and show us the footage, and don't be like Michael Baptiste and say you had the thing in your hand. Show us. You understand? Show us the thing. We go put up a big screen in the car park in Grenville. Or we'll go up in Munich. But show us. Good afternoon, Michael Baptiste. I ain't swiping at you, brother.
And you know,
but you understand what I'm saying?
I'm glad you clarified that. I'll tell you what happened. My aunt gave birth to a child at her home. And we had to lift her up with the baby attached to her and carry her to the hospital. My brother Buck, Kenneth Budler, was in the home. So he named that child Gaddafi. After Muammar Gaddafi. You understand? He went to SAS. He was a good athlete in SAS. I don't know if you met him in SAS. No, he left. And he was a member of the Grenada Police Force down here. Gaddafi Bartholomew. Then he went to the United States Army. Now he's a police officer in New York. And we pray every day for Gaddafi because his life is at risk every day he goes out on duty. Could meet some madman that come out in Vietnam, some crazy person who come out in Afghanistan, someone who don't believe in God, someone who don't like black people, someone who don't like police. You understand? These are the kind of things that confront you every day in this country. So as a black man and a police officer, surviving in that hostile environment, easy. There is time you have to protect yourself.
Okay, but I think, one should applaud the brother. That's 25 years.
You don't see the good.
Nothing,
And not even that, coming back here and make contribution and offer himself to serve. Most people, when they come back home, they open a bar, they open a rum shop, and they buy a bus. Okay. They don't serve. They don't come to serve.
How much of them that went away and came back
and prepared to serve
and made contribution to even the force? The amount of contribution he had made to the Royal Grenada Police Force
and different communities.
Yeah.
We've got a caller. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Eddie.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
From this week, the program starts from last year to the same thing this year. But today, it starts well good. People elect who they want to run in the village, in the parish. That's what we go and vote for in college. It's not who they had to put out, who they there and who they had to come and who don't come. That's what we vote for. And we vote and we're going to see that Mr. Philip going to be with candidate for St. Patrick West. Every one of us behind him. We don't take him out and put. So all of the two caretaker and the three caretaker is good caretaker. The person who are you talking about, they have to vote because he can't come with war inside the house. The Prime Minister are polling war inside the house. That's why you don't put him to run. We don't want. We are in peace, and I like the program how you started and continue how you started it. We have to campaign against the I don't know what the name to give them.
NDC.
No, we don't talk about NDC. We don't campaign about NDC. We have to campaign about NMP. The program is about only NMP. The program is NDC. We have to start the program with NMP. We have to start the program with NMP. The year begins. That is politics time now. Not about NDC. I don't want to hear about NDC. I want to hear about NMP. And we there in St. Patrick West, and I want to hear the people come out and I talk good about Mr. Philip because he got to be with candidate for next election. Not who they say, who they want and who they want to put. Who we want. That's what we're going to do. Everybody want to pull here and pull there. We're not pulling here and pull there, no. We want Mr. Philip and we're going to have with Mr. Philip. The Prime Minister adopts Mr. Philip for we caretaker and I stay behind him 100%. So who they trying to put there? Tell them and say, bye-bye with that one.
How is Kapu Hole?
Kapu Hole good.
Right. Thank you for your contribution.
Next week again. You don't finish to that yet. They're going to continue up. Don't start the program with nothing else besides St. Patrick West.
Well, we say what we have to say about St. Patrick West already, and I will always big up Bello. You have my support. Even
continue with it.
Okay, I hear you. Thanks for your contribution.
All right.
Okay, and don't vex.
91.9 Real FM, 20 minutes, no, make that 21 minutes after the hour. I think we have another call. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
How are you all do?
Fine, fine.
Yes, I just want to make a point that I don't know if I hear it right, but the statement about the General Secretary, you know, the statement he make, I believe that is not true, in my opinion, because knowing the election of the caretaker, Victor Philip, St. Patrick's West, he is doing the job with the team. They are going out, doing house to house, they are bringing in new membership to the party and the works of the politics. So it's not a situation like maybe they talk about St. David's and home. The young man is working diligently, a red stalwart worker for the New National Party. And it's not about power, but it's about service. And I believe the people of St. Patrick West is well happy, the NNP, for his work and contribution. And the people of St. Patrick's West NNP is in full support and working with him. So I believe that that we all have to work together and support him and give him the chance, because we don't know when the bell will ring, and we want to be ready like Freddy to bring home the seat for St. Patrick's West. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Whereas what I understand the gentleman said is that he could the General Secretary and said, right, yes, this man was elected as the caretaker, but that don't necessarily mean for 100% he could be the candidate. But if the constituency is satisfied with him, and the national executive satisfied with him, and the prime minister satisfied with him, no doubt he will be the candidate.
And that could happen over any part of Grenada.
You could get a point, you could get elected as a caretaker, and somewhere along the line, if the prime minister and the executive feel all right, I think I need somebody else, they could ask for that. But once the prime minister is satisfied, once the national executive is satisfied, and the people in the constituency satisfied, I think democracy is kicking at work. So I think it shouldn't do, let's do pedal stone. We want every vote. We want to be the most united party. We want to show the most love. We want to show appreciation for people hard work.
We've got another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Andre. Good afternoon, KB. Good afternoon, Messi.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, KB, I want to say, when people are talking about people, knowing Mr. Nimrod, I always hear about a man, of the work that he's doing for the people of St. John Northwest. I always be there in convention, general council meeting, that man always show up. I never knew him doing so much. But when I got to know him, and listening to what a man do, sense in the moonlight, with the moonlight, right? And when you have someone someone in the middle of the night, coming like a thief, went on beach taking the sand. Right? Listen, that when people talk about people, they forget what they get caught in doing. Taking the sand on beach, allowed 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, where a man should be in the bed lying sleeping with his wife. Outside there, playing the Satan role. Right? And knowing, for the Twitter, I know that Mr. Nimrod, that's a man who work hard. He work hard, he's a man that stop people, a man that care about people. Right? And people saying John Northwest could make a boost in he, because he knows a man that come in politics to see what he could get. A man that have, and what he have, he reach out and help the people of St. John Northwest, and even the people of Greater Caribbean Pittsburgh, and even the people of America, where he was working as a soldier and working in the police force. So when you look at the people that NMP got NMP selected to be caretaker and candidate, is people that are well around it. So when a man want to come and say things about them, the people, as I must say, the people know what is good Calypso. The people of St. John Northeast know a good person, and they know a person who care and feels to demonstrate that love towards them. And one thing I could say with NMP, when we have to elect somebody as a candidate, we don't get no civic. Right?
I like that one.
The people in the constituency, they nominate a person to be the caretaker, right? And the caretaker will walk along with the people, and the national executive, once they approve the person, that person will be the candidate for the constituency. We have to go to get the good qualification. A qualification of somebody will make you a good politician. Once you have somebody that always involved in working for the good and betterment of the people in the constituency, always involve yourself in doing community development work, and the people there know you, right? You stand a very good chance of winning the election. Because I remember when, I don't know who she married, but I know she's on our Sister Keith Lewis came into politics. And what I know about her, and what she did for the young people, I'll be involved, as you see that young lady is going to win her seat, because the people up there know her, and she will be involved in the community development work. There's a man that living in a village. You hardly know even man living there. The one that October 1983 came out there where some people under house arrest. Right? But Mosquito was always out in the road walking and helping bring development in the constituency of St. Andrew North East. So the people there know her, and they know what they have. And they know if anyone is coming there, what they get, because that the people who and the situation to bring in, like a man say, I give you that, take that. And even look what's going on. Like in St. David, I was listening Friday where guy Michi was saying, for sure said, you don't going on so. Right? Because you usually tell yourself, well, you spend your money, so you do what you want. You do what you want. I want to run there, and the person who there had to clear it and give me the way because I spend my money. Well, you see what happened there now? I agree with the man, he's spending money, so if he spend money, then he has to take over. No one else has to come and tell what to do, and they fall in the trap. So, KV, Andrew, may you have a blessed evening.
Yeah.
Which is good, eh? I tell you, my friend Nibran Oliver will get attacked because he is a threat to every NDC in that constituency. He's a threat to George, one of them. This man is a show winner and a hard worker, influential person. You understand? A motivator. Someone willing to come back and sacrifice. And that would not daunt his spirit. That attack would not daunt his spirit.
This is attacking not enough, King.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
We've got another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good wishes for the week. Some of the things I hear are not, I don't like them, I'm not in cool with them. But again, that's what we call human rights. But I'm not in cool with some of them. This matter with where there seems to be problems in the constituency with who to select, I thought that was far gone, based on what the decision that was made. And when those things far gone, I don't think we should bring them back up. For instance, when Mr. Bido was running in Guelph, it was not a show pick for me. I didn't like him being the candidate. But when the party, when he was selected and the constituency accepted it, I went with it. When Pastor Carl Hudo was running for the NDC, I said that I don't think he will make a good politician. But that was the NDC choice. I said with that, and we saw what happened. So I think people should be mature enough to, yes, have your little bit of, thing inside, but making this thing general public, I don't think it makes much sense, because the gentleman is now sitting as a senator, and the constituency had all right to reject it before. You accept all that. You accept the man as a senator. You accept the man as your candidate, selected as caretaker. And now we have in this thing. And I'm not in favor of it, but that's human. In turn with the matter in Sotes with the police, I think I'm sorry to know of the gentleman who loses his life. I'm sorry to know that his family are grieving now. But the police is extra lucky. The policeman had to call himself extra lucky. Because if they say that if he slept like fall, like missed a fall, he could have been the dead man now. Because the other gentleman would have had all the upper hand on him if he did not do that. And I remember when Mr. Ogilvy was Commissioner of Police in Grenada, I heard him send a police on a station one day that he trained all his policemen when being attacked, shoot to kill. That was what came from Mr. Ogilvy. When you been attacked as a policeman, shoot to kill. The attacker to know you don't have the right to attack a policeman. So I am hoping that good sense prevail out of that, and I'm sorry that the gentleman lost his life. There was something that Mr. Andre and a few people said on Friday. I think that Friday when. And I think, yes, we need to be more stepping up on the procedures. For instance, I heard you were talking about, I think it's tranquilizer gun or whatever it is, or something that you can restrain the person. Yes, but as Andre said, you need some time to have more than just something to restrain, because you don't know. When you're attacked by these people, you have to try to control them. And sometimes the control is to kill. Well, we don't want to kill, but you have to at times. So, yes, I think more training is needed for the police, more protection, but you have times when a crazy person or somebody could do things. And one too much dead is not nice, but we have to live with it. Right? I prefer I kill somebody before they kill me, if I'm in a position.
Okay, good. Take care. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. We've got another caller, and let's say good afternoon. Hello?
And good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
KB and Messi, and to your listening audience. I just want to take you guys back to the issue of the caretaker of St. George Northeast. With everything having said and done, the gentleman came to the constituents, we the constituents of St. George Northeast, and he humbly asked of us to be able to serve us. Serve us because he believes from his bowel that our constituency deserves effective and efficient representation. And to the fact, that is what we deserve. The NMP is also a party that does not believe in that level of gutter politics. The gentleman has chosen, or he had chosen, a life of being a police officer, which is to protect and serve. Andre, my husband is a police officer, and this is something that can happen to any officer in the line of duty. So it is very sad to see the naysayers and the opposition operatives and forces grabbing at the air to bring this thing up. This is nothing. It can happen to anybody. Having said that, Mr. Oliver remained, and this is instructive to note, that he remained in the NYPD. Throughout his years, his journey took him, one, in 2004, he was promoted to the sergeant, November 2004. That is after the incident. So let's walk this through with me. Then he went on to sergeant special assignment in September 2008, followed by promotion to lieutenant in 2012. Haven't gotten all of that promotion. He still received numerous commendations and awards, and the third highest honor of the NYPD, which is the Valor Award, the most coveted medal, right? He continued his service. His service has been, his lifelong service has been one of love for people. He's a given, humble individual. So I think at this point, it is very sad to see that the operatives will do that and try to discredit an individual who has left his life, his family in New York, to return to Grenada, to serve the people, to be part of Project Grenada, and to build our state. And that is the best they can do. And that is why we, the constituents of St. George North, will ensure, and we will do everything, and we will oil our machinery to make sure that Mr. Oliver gets into our parliament, and all the other forces will be shut down, because he's the one for the people. And with all that sort of detractor information, we will ensure, Andre, KB and Messi, you rest assured that we will get our boots on the ground and we will run. The NMP is never a party of this sort of gutter politics. Look, Mr. Oliver was made, he was unanimously voted in as the caretaker. Did we fight? Did you see anything, any videos after talking about who wanted the seat? We had, in accordance with the party's constitution, he was voted in, and he has already hit the ground, house to house, like he said, knocking doors, calling persons, engaging persons. He has given himself to serve. So the best we can do is to make our people proud and make sure that he enters that parliament. And we will not be distracted by the persons who are constantly, one, fighting. Two, they have a history of not being able to settle. Three, they cannot up to this day say what they are offering to the people. Anytime you hear the campaign, it's about a briefcase. Please, Grenadians are fed up with that. We are fed up with that. Let us move as a united front and build Grenada, and we, the constituents, will do that for St. George Northeast. So I trust that after this afternoon, that will put the matter to rest and allow the gentleman to function in his capacity as we move into our campaign mode. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Stay safe. Messi, KB, Andre. Thank you.
Tak, madam, tak.
Is that buffalo?
That's a buffalo. My God, she couldn't. Uphold. That's a book. My God, I'm telling you, I know NNP have bright people. You know, don't watch us so. They call us stupid. They call us dons. They call us greedy. They call us all kind of names. But we are bright, intelligent people. People with empathy. What does do? They can't touch us. 15 again. Uphill, downhill. 15 again.
When it comes to selection of candidates,
judgment matters, boy.
You know, our leader and our team.
Yes, man.
Does right.
When he touch Oliver like he touch gold, Oliver he touch gold. This man is no ordinary human being. Boy, I tell you, we get a lot of gift from God. Them waiting for Jesus Christ to join their party to help them. But no, Jesus Christ won't join NDC. He won't join NDC. They go fight with him. They go fight with him. I tell you, meet NDC. You ask who your leader have with him. Wait, you go see. What is your message to the greater people? Wait, you go see. Who is your messenger? Wait, you go see. Who is your candidate? Wait, you go see. Well, everything, wait, you go see. Everything, wait, you go see. But yet still, you ask them how much seat you're going to win. Wait, you're going to see. The winning election, which seat you're going to win? Wait, you go see. Well, I see something wrong with these people. They don't have an answer to nothing. Last week, yesterday I was in the market, and they say, KB, your partner, they can't walk in the whole countryside from Larry come down. I said, let you walk the street, man. You don't go in nobody home. Afraid to watch them in the eye and tell them what you could do for them. Afraid to look at the Grenadian people in the eye. Afraid. So you're on the street, walking the street, just shaking hand. Shaking hand. I tell you, the answer is the same. The result will be the same. Wait, you go see. Wait, you go see. I want to warn the Grenadian people. I was in NDC, and I tell you, NDC spent more than 10, 15, 20 years attacking the character of Dr. Mitchell. Left, right, and center. They spend little time looking at the character of Tillman Thomas. So when they get into office, they realize they're dealing with a different Tillman Thomas. Not the same one they knew in opposition. A different human being. So a couple of parliamentarians asked me, KB, had you told us we were going to get that kind of leadership from Tillman Thomas, we was going to hold you, we are sure we are going to hold you in the truth. I say, so Tillman is all the time, he never change. And you can't change him at the age of 60 years, no. We said Tillman was placed there to be the big watchman, to be the biggest overseer, to make sure people do thief, not to run country. Not to run country. He was like the mirror. Because you know what Tillman Thomas would not do, but you don't know what he will do. That is the difference. You spend all this time on Dr. Mitchell character and a little story Tillman character. No one you reach in office, you know if to run, you know if to stand up, you know if it's fight. Now they end up with the same problem with Deacon Mitchell. They don't know what kind of person they're dealing with. They take a position. No research. They take a position and they say, hey, look, man, they fight the CBI program right down. Kit Mitchell want to give away grain. He's selling with patrimony. He's selling with passport. They can't come and say, no, you want to sell more passport than NNP. Yeah, he's selling more passport than the NNP. Yeah. They said, look, we vote against fixed date for election. They vote against it in the referendum. They vote against 2 terms for the prime minister. They vote against electoral reform. Nimrod come balling all kind of, not Nimrod, Deacon come all kind of Becky, Kit Mitchell, those supposed to have the bell in the pocket. Well, NDC had an opportunity to take the bell out of Dr. Mitchell's pocket, and they vote against that. They go as fast to get Carrico to vote against Carrico, put him on the passport. They tell Carrico, vote against themselves. Yeah. Vote against putting all your Carrico in the money passport. Everything NDC oppose, Nimrod going against what they can't go in against what they stand for in the past. Fixed day for election, they say nah. Term for 2 terms for fixed for prime minister, they say vote against it. No, Nimrod said no. He want back that. He want this thing now to take place. That is why Deacon continue to make that mistake. He always be in confrontation with the NDC because his philosophy is different to what NDC stand for. Everything NDC go against, Deacon saying he want it.
Because that's not his policy.
That is not his policy.
Not his policy.
His policy contradict the policy of the NDC. Yeah. So they must be fighting. There must be confusion. Because I remember when my friend brought that CBI program in cabinet, you understand? The former leader of the NDC, Naz. They beat it up. Tricks beat it up. Tricks say selling passport. That look as Kit Mitchell and NNP. No way. The Minister of Health beat it up to say, you mad? Passport? That look as Kit Mitchell. Today they can't say you want to sell more passport than Kit Mitchell. You ain't see nothing. I remember when the talk was wrong, Patrick Antoine want to join the NDC. They said, no, Patrick, you can't parachute, boy. You have to join the party and start as an ordinary member. You can't parachute. I don't know where they can pass. If he come out in space, if he come out underground, helicopter, they accept that. All what they against, they can come with it and they accept it. They contradicted themselves.
But they can't but what they accept.
You see, he bought it. He had to carry the luggage.
Yeah,
he have to carry the luggage, and he's the only Rambo I know without gun. I don't know. He feel he alone could conquer this, this country. No, you can't make it. You must have a team of people, and they all believe Grenadians stupid. They all believe Grenadians stupid. Vote for Deacon, forget NDC. Deacon, forget NDC. Deacon, because they know NDC is really bad image.
Yeah, but them doing that if it is a presidential race that is going on.
No, not president. Not a presidential race. You're not president.
That's how it functions.
No.
It's like a presidential race.
People look for a team.
You have to understand another thing. There's something that you spoke to it and you're gone. When Mr. Mitchell would say that, make a statement that he was selling more passports, you have to understand that is the money is more. A lot of the monies that he would have now in his possession was made through that. So he understands the value of that. So it's not a.
So he had clients?
Of course. Check it out. No.
Man.
Check it out. Just do your custom doing research. I say to you, Kerry, research that one. You understand? Research that one. What does Mr. Mitchell have to do with CBI?
CBI.
Research that and come back next week and give me a full report on it.
I'll do that.
Yeah, do that.
I will be amazed. I'll surprise if he was a lawyer making money out of that program.
Research. I give you homework.
I will be, because the point is that that is NDC trump card. That is what they attacking Dr. Mitchell and the NNP on.
They were against that fully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask a NDC now, you agree for Deacon to start selling Grenada passport? I wonder what would be the respond? They go say, well, they change.
Hush on that now, KB. Do your research now.
I would like to hear the response.
Do your research. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Ajay. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, sir.
I'm better. Second, and the lady that spoke about Nimrod, with all his ability and thing. And I'm proud that he's there in the Northeast. And I worked hand in hand with him because I know he has the facility, he have the know-how of what he wants to do and what he wants for his people. So I'm there, head and head with him. Messi, you know once he's there, I'm there.
I know that, bro. I know.
So I'm there, listening to the program, putting one on one and make it two, as usual.
I just like you to know that the insult you sent me via the voice note, I received it and I refused to reply to you, and I still will not reply to you.
I know you did.
Yeah, you sought to insult me, and I just left you on the side of the road. By the side of the road you will stay. I don't even bother in with you.
That why you're trying to finish my credit?
Yeah, right.
After that finish it, you pay me.
I would done your credit today.
Before you go, tell us who going up against Nimrod.
Huh?
Who going up against Nimrod?
They ain't put nobody yet. Main thing there nobody.
Wait, you go see.
Huh?
I say wait, you go see.
Well, what else we gonna do? But I mean, what we seen and it make a difference? It wouldn't make a difference to us.
But when I know you're Buffalo as you.
I leaving him right by the side of the road. If you hear that man insult me, boy, it's a good thing you just say it on the radio, you But I give you 4 corner of the wall, per Maliwez. Huh?
Messi taking that from me?
Yes, you get it.
Let me hear Messi say it for himself.
We defend all the Buffaloes.
No, he's a Buffalo. I will defend all Buffaloes.
Per Maliwez.
But that is, Per Maliwez is a good beast,
Well, okay. Take care of yourself, man.
That's a good beast, boy. But anyhow.
Yeah, one love.
Okay, and we'll do what we have to do.
All right, and good. One love. All right, KB, a friend of yours has just said, I wouldn't tell you who the friend is, but a very good friend of yours, a brethren, has just sent me a message. Let KB find out about the present NDC treasurer and her role with the CBI program. Do that too. So you have 2 things to do. You understand? One, the present treasurer of the NDC. Find out who that person is and find out what is their role with the CBI.
What was their role? Or
is their role with the CBI? All right? And also find out what is Mr. Mitchell's role with the CBI. And whilst you're at it, if you come up with the name Henley, find out what it means. Henley. Henley.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Right?
I got it.
That's your homework.
Yeah.
You want more homework? I give you more homework, you know. I give you more homework because I know you like to get homework. There is a person of interest who somebody said they're not hearing us. Well, I didn't do anything. Wait. I have no idea what's wrong.
You touched something?
No, I didn't. I'm here. I didn't touch anything. And based on what I'm seeing here, I'm supposed, but somebody said, hey, we're not hearing you.
I don't find a hearing. It come through my mic.
Yeah, it should. Okay. I don't know. I have not a clue.
Oh, let's take a break.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Are you hearing now?
Okay, no, yeah.
You're hearing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Love, good afternoon. John Christopher, you there?
Dr. Love.
So it's back. Jeez, you mean? Okay.
I don't feel like hearing you.
Well, you're deaf then.
I hear him.
Hello?
You're not hearing, KB?
I don't think so.
Well, how can I make... I'm bust your ears bell now. Okay,
right. I hear you now.
Well, I don't understand.
I
don't understand you.
I hear you now.
All right. Okay.
Dr. Love, good afternoon, man.
All right. So here's this, KB. Based on information received, a person of interest who may be or may end up being a candidate. Yeah? You hear?
Yeah.
A candidate.
In what constituency?
A candidate had an altercation with her husband.
Okay.
Recently. About a week ago. All right? It is said that the husband received some planners. Research again, KB. I give you work to do. There is a lot of work you have to homework. That's your homework. Just play your comment and your
potential
thing.
Candidate?
Potential. That is correct. Yeah? You got that?
Yeah. Potential candidate planner's husband.
Find out who. Which constituency? Which constituency? Find out who.
In St. Andrews?
I'm not saying.
Well, how I go know if it's I go over here to find out that?
Yeah.
That they on papers?
That can't be good ladder.
That they on papers?
Well,
if it's in St. Andrews, I walk in the market asking everybody.
What you walking in the market? Ask people in the market.
Well, I go ask in the market.
Somebody might
I wonder who get that planners boy.
Not me.
My wife will beat me at all. So
boy, I want a wife to beat me. The man lucky here, boy. He getting a wife to beat him. That lucky man, boy. I jealousy. Look at that. Wait, you go see. And Messi, I met a few elderly citizens in Grenville. All of them overflowing with joy. KB, you know the Prime Minister put $150 on my money? I get $450. I pay me light bill, I pay my water, I buy my medication, I buy food, I buy a drink. You see, KB, what going on, boy? I didn't expect that. I met my friend Pala. Pala said, KB, I vote NDC all my life. A vehicle bunks me. I break my foot. I go to Kate Lewis. And she helped me get that 300 in that public assistance. When I go for my money, Pala say when he go for, everybody know Pala. He always play Shatney and follow all about the place. All about in Karaku, you will see 9 on the ground with the Shatney clothes. Pala say I get $450. No! All way you pass, only smile. I say defend what you have, Pala, because you know if NDC come in power, they taking it back. You remember what they do you with the road walk? You remember when Dr. Mitchell put $10 on road workers' pay? As soon as NDC come, they take out the $10. They say the money too much for value. Now Dr. Mitchell put $150. You have to defend that. That is why you have to vote for NNPD election. You see, KB, I was in better school. I tell Mr. Deacon and them are giving Dr. Mitchell my vote this election. I say, right, Pala, even though you lie, I'm glad you say it. He appreciate it. I went in Tivoli Junction Friday as a rich military shop. My good friend Omar Wicom called me. KB, I going on for my check, you know. I said, what check? You don't know Dr. Mitchell give all market vendors stimulus, KB? I going on for my check. I tired get 15. This time I'm voting for Dr. Mitchell. Omar Wicom, I know you tell me to say that on radio. To let you know, I will tell the nation how much you appreciate that stimulus package by the Prime Minister. Remember when you get house, you tell me to come on Andrew Donald station and thank Miss Skeeter Lewis for you. I did that. Now you get your stimulus package. You ask me to come and thank Dr. Mitchell for you. Omar Wicom, I'm doing just that. She said, KB, nobody does not look out for me. Look at today. I never vote NNP in my life. They are the only people that are looking out for me. I ain't taking another 15. I think I'm voting for NNP. Dr. Mitchell, although I don't like those NNP in Tivoli, but you, I'm giving you a personal vote. How we come and I relay your message. And I thank you for showing appreciation. Thank God for small mercies. Oh, yes.
Anytime, NNP in office,
everybody inheriting.
Everybody inheriting.
And you know what's nice? That call coming from the NDC camp.
Yes.
And they're not afraid to say, KB, I vote NDC, you know. Mr. NDC, you know. I never vote NNP, you know. But look, I'm going to get my stimulus. I'm going to get my money this week, this morning. They tell me come with my ID and collect the check.
Okay, and that's why you have times when I hear people talking about victimization.
Victimize what? No.
I cannot talk.
No, man.
Whenever Miss Thomas goes out,
yeah,
she does not think about.
No, but that is why we always expanding with base. Exactly. When you represent everybody, you will expand your base politically.
Listen here. We in the Northwest, and our night are soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We cook and distribute to persons in the constituency. We do not watch
Color. You can watch color for piece of food. You can do that.
And KB, you have times. If you late, persons call.
The soup late.
The soup late. Because they appreciate it so much.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
And KB out there. And I am proud.
Yeah.
To let the nation know how much the people appreciate it.
You know, you have somebody, people don't value this thing. They say, no, bribe, all you bribing people. Well, you don't giving anything.
We got a caller. Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
How do you do?
Fine.
That was a marathon. That was a long way. Anyhow, I am calling to express my support for the caretaker, Senator Victor Philip, and also chairman of the branch, St. Patrick West constituency. I have been part of his ground team. We are on the ground. We are meeting the people.
Could you raise your voice first, please?
I am saying I am part of his ground team.
Okay.
Grounded and rooted in the masses. So we are all speaking to the people, to constituents, hearing from them, sharing with them, feeling the pulse of the people. And I think the response on the ground is overwhelming for the party and for the candidate. And for the caretaker, potential candidate. And as I say, we are in the process of reorganizing the entire constituency, meeting with different PDs, executives, in some cases reorganizing and so on and so forth. And as I said that whoever might be trying to open things, they're not going to succeed with that. I believe we're supposed to be working as a team, and I'm very disappointed that with some of the things that we have been hearing on the ground from the constituents. But I believe that the fact of the matter is that a lot of us are not really in touch with reality. We are not in touch with reality. We don't know what is going on the ground. But nevertheless, you hear people saying that on the ground we have been hearing this and hearing that and the other. Not the ground that I stand on, that we stand on, not that ground that we know. Maybe there is another ground, right? But I'm saying this to say we all need to work together.
Beautiful.
Because,
Beautiful.
As far as you were making a point?
No, I just echoing what you say, working together.
Yeah, working together, because that is important. Because the good book itself says that a house divided against itself cannot stand. It's hard to stand. Because when the enemies come knocking, we might not be able to withstand. So I want all of us to be working together. And those who are continuing with the rumors, the falsehood on the ground, my advice, my advocacy to them is that we should stop that. And let us try to come and work together, right? A process had taken place and somebody was selected. And we were overwhelmingly behind that person when that process took place. I don't know what happened, what went wrong. And all of a sudden, a handful or a small group that could be counted on the fingers of one hand want to open things. And I am saying that should not be allowed to happen. And we are going to ensure, and the only way you could ensure that is by being on the ground, because we're on the ground. The battle has to be won on the ground, no battle could be won in the air, Eventually, you could bomb as much as you bomb, but eventually you have to touch ground, you have to come down.
Okay.
And we have to understand that looking at things from the pavilion is not the same as being on the field of play. It's a completely different experience. And I could tell you, because I've been on the field of play, and I could tell you what is going on there. So things are looking good for the party and for the candidate, and we are going to continue the process.
Okay. Thank you.
From ourselves, but still, they do not deal with the real issues. Disorder. Unions are formed for men to speak as one. NATO to ensure that no one country has autonomy over the other. United Nations to address issues of war, famine and disasters. Commercially, NAFTA and WTO are designed to protect us from ourselves. But still, they do not deal with the real issues.
Them not deal with the real issues. Our time now move to what? 10 minutes After the 3 o'clock hour, wow. Sundays I dread. Honestly, Sundays I dread. It's so much on a Sunday. But nonetheless, we'd all get through it. Oh, to let yourself, KB, and Richard, I want to give you firsthand, there is a youth program that I'll be looking to do. Not an NNP youth program. I'll be looking to do a youth program. I kind of feel like doing something for the young people of Grenada. So I'm working with a couple of people to do a youth program. Because I think the young people of Grenada need something to hold on to. That does not necessarily have to be political. If they bring their politics into it, you can't, because it's them. Yeah. But so I'm looking to do that. Seeing how it works. This is Grenada. You've got to do what you got to do so as to ensure that the country goes forward. You see, I must say this, KB. First and foremost, in Grenada, I put Grenada first.
Great.
I put Grenada first. I don't even put Real FM second. The governance of Grenada, I put that second. The governance of Grenada. And I believe that the new National Party is a party well-meaning in relation to the governance of Grenada. Therefore, I can put them third. Fourth, my constituency, meaning the constituency where I'm registered to vote, St. Patrick West, my constituency will come in fourth. Because I believe in order for the new National Party to have the power and the clout that it needs to have, then St. Patrick West must be within the ranks of the new National Party. I put nothing else before that. I put nothing else before that. Growing up, my mother, who is deceased, of course, as folks know, never taught me to be a selfish person. And I give the story all the time, and I'd say it again another time. I've seen my mother sit down to eat, and before she puts the spoon in, somebody comes to the kitchen door, and I'm talking in St. George's, and says, "Cookie, what you have there to eat?" And I've seen my mother get up, take that food that she was just about to dig into, her food, that she was just about to dig into, and put it in a container and give it to that person. And go and do toast or just bread and cheese and a cup of tea or some lime water. Yeah? I've seen my mother do that on too many occasions to be a selfish person. I can't be. And for those who come in contact with me, they will know that I am not a selfish person. For those who choose to stay at a distance and look at Andre and make all their assumptions as it relates to Andre and his personality, that's their folly, because they don't know me. They don't know anything about Andre Don. I am a selfless person, and I continue to a fault to be selfless. There are persons who are around me and say, "Yo, you can't continue to be so selfless. You can't continue to do this. It is wrong for you to do this." But I continue nonetheless. Because I believe in Grenada first and foremost. So I want everybody to understand that. Understand, know that, learn that. And if you want to, you could believe it. I am not a selfish person. What you probably could fault me with, you can say that I really and truly speak my mind all the time. And sometimes speaking my mind is not what people want to hear. It's the truth. But it's not what people want to hear. I rest my case. Got a caller? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to my brothers and them.
Good afternoon, Mammy.
Yes, I so want to thank the Honorable Dr. Claudius Kit Mitchell. Give those people, give us 150. That is quite, and everybody can leave it. Tell me, Miss Jacob, go and speak about that and go and thank the Prime Minister for that. For 150 for the senior citizens. Get a 150 over 300. So we get $400, brother KB and all.
I know you're glad for the 450.
Thank God for it. Thank God for it. We all thank God for it. St. David constituency. A good bit of them call me, you know. Good bit of them call me a while ago. I had to put down my plate of food and come and eat the food. So, you have a very blessed
Thank
night,
you,
blessed
thank
day,
you.
And I go back and eat my
Yeah.
Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.
17 minutes days after 3 o'clock.
That's why it's, the social
Programs, yes. Have direct impact on the life of people. I remember my grandmother kneel. I met my grandmother. I saw him kneel down one day praying with a candle asking God to bless Uncle Gary. I said, what Auntie Millie doing? She said, KB, as the back pay we get and a raise, they put out like a 10 cents on their pay. And 10 cents meant a lot to them. And she was kneeling in a corner, asking God to bless Uncle Gary. You could imagine how much people, whether it's NNP or NDC, pray and ask God to bless Dr. Mitchell for that little increase.
You've got another caller. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Philip.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to commend Mr. Donald this evening for this program, and I believe the NNP owe you a debt of gratitude for that program you have there. I could remember I know the origin of the program, and to sustain that program from the time of its birth up to now, and you don't have a sponsor, you understand? I believe that is selfless. That is selfless. The program go from strength to strength. You understand? And I really, really, really want to commend you for that. And I believe that the NNP owe you a debt of gratitude. Have a good evening, brother.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much.
I was saying before, the social programs there.
Yeah.
We have some programs which is not government programs.
Yeah.
Like the programs which the NNP have implemented.
Yes.
And candidates have implemented, like the soup.
Yeah.
Kitchen that Mr. Thomas have
yeah.
That's not a government program.
No.
You understand? Mr. Thomas used this initiative, to develop that in our constituency.
Yeah.
You understand? And this is not sponsored by government as such. You understand? Is loyal supporters of the constituency and the party, that assist. You understand? And I will always say, with NNP,
yes,
you always see development. you always see new things happening. You understand? Because no, you have times you might take some decision which is not favorable.
Yeah.
You know, but it's for the good for the country
Countries.
and the people in the country.
You great.
You know, in the long run, you know, after when they see the benefits.
Yes.
You understand? Person will say yes. You understand? That decision wasn't favorable, but we are benefiting now. You understand?
You're quite right.
Only under NMP.
Yeah.
You understand? You always see that happening. You understand? And I could say I'm very happy to be part of this party. You understand? To make sure that people benefit a lot.
Okay.
And will continue along the way.
Got a caller. Good afternoon. Hello?
Hello?
Lost that one. Let's move on. 442-0175.
Yeah. Messi?
Person is back. Good afternoon.
No, not me. Good afternoon, Mr. Donald.
Good afternoon.
Jamie Peters.
Good afternoon.
So, notice Buffalo, my darling. The point is, you see how Andrew Donald recognized your voice so easily. I had to wait till you continue to speak before I get to realize it's my sweet Jenny.
I just called to say a pleasant good afternoon to you all. And when I woke up this morning, I saw a bobcat and a caterpillar, what it is like. They're doing some work right by me.
On your road?
Yeah, and they're there now. So I said, I must let you know, they said they're doing some concreting there. So they're kind of leveling up the road there now.
Okay, well, that's good. Great news.
I said, well, let me call and say that something is happening by me. I see something happening by me.
Right in the corner where you are.
And it's very important to put.
Yes.
Whenever there's something happening in your area, call.
Yes.
Well, I called.
Call, you know, and I appreciate it a lot.
Miss Lewis visit you yet? I know you will thank Miss Kate Lewis.
Of course, that's my girl. Yes.
I know.
Good rider? Yeah.
All right, I tell you
I
what.
just called to let out know that things happening in my little village there.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, great. Take care.
Messi, I was sitting by my friend Maxi Bola one afternoon. The first vagrant pass, I see well shaved, he hair cut, he have new clothes, new shirt, everything.
I don't like the word vagrant, eh?
Well, the point is that is the
Homeless person.
Homeless person on the street. So another one pass. Nike and Adidas they win. So I see something wrong. All of a sudden, all of them bathe the same day, change their clothes the same day. Some pass with lunch. So I ask, what is going on? They say, boy, Miss Bain, pick up or send for all the homeless in Grenville. Bring them in the park.
Full name. Mrs. Yolan Bain.
Miss Yolan Bain.
Talk there. Speak
Okay.
Miss Yolan Bain
Horsford.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yes. Carry them in the park in Grenville. Enjoy. All of them get a shower. And give them new clothes. Shave them. Trim their hair. You understand? Some showing off with their new underwear. They walking with their pants falling so you could see the brand new shirts. You understand? And they had their lunch, special lunch. I said, even the homeless benefit. Even you look after a homeless, every one of them in Grenville, even the man on the wheelchair, the one on the wheelchair had new, he can't wear shoe, but he had new pants and new jersey. The man on the wheelchair in Grenville, he and all, was ensured I get a bath, had his lunch and new clothes, and make them feel they are really human being. What a noble
That is
gesture.
anything strange. That is Mrs. Bain.
What a noble gesture.
Of course.
That's, as I always say, KB.
That's nothing strange.
Yeah,
She cares.
She cares.
Yeah.
Her legacy is written in relation to how she deals with the elderly.
The elderly,
Nobody,
yes.
no other MP deals with the elderly as my soldier does. That's my soldier.
I know you love Miss Bean. I know
Okay,
she loves Bean. I don't understand she cutting down some real land somewhere either in Ladigo Richmond to give house spot. Ask her. Ask Miss Bean Harsford where she cutting up the land. People say, KB, if you see what Miss Bain doing in her constituency,
I will have to relocate.
She cutting real lands to give house
You
spot.
like the fact that I will have to relocate now?
Oh, you welcome anyway.
And you got man, it's St. Patrick's man. See St. Patrick's now.
Yeah, but you
enjoy your benefits for people.
Regine, Yolan Bain Hospital. That's my shatain.
Yeah. I would like somebody to call from her constituency and tell us exactly where.
Gun line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Andre,
Good afternoon.
Messi and KB. Andre, I'll ask you to permit me, please, to respond to something KB said last week in relation to Bishop Sidney Charles. And our caller previously and yourself sort of set the basis to what I wanted to say. All right. But I'd like to ask KB a question, or maybe two questions, and if you'll be kind enough to answer. KB, do you know Bishop Charles personally, or have you ever had a conversation with him before, during, or after the revolution?
No.
Okay, all right. So I like to contend that your comments last week on him being the biggest betrayer of the Grenadian people is really coming from a place of ignorance, and not ignorance in the sense that you're stupid, but of not knowing, and personally not knowing the man. And in the relation to leadership, somebody said it a while ago, alluding to it, that when you're not in a position, if you're in a playing field, a football match going on, we understand we could all shout our instruction to the goalman and the forward player and what, but on the ground, you don't know what you think. And Andrew just said about himself that people don't know him. And I want to submit to you, KB, you do not know Bishop Sidney Charles and what he has done. First of all, I like to say that the revolution hoodwinked everybody, because I remember the first broadcast on the morning of the revo, Morris Bishop said that they'll have elections in 3 months. So everybody, regionally, internationally, in the British, held out from doing anything because he promised elections. And by the time we knew it, they entrenched themselves and things began to change. Bishop Charles was placed in a very, very difficult position. As a matter of fact, from the time he came to Grenada, he was appointed in November. He came in January of 1973-74 thereabout, and it was in the midst of all the upheaval in Morris Bishop and Gary and strike. And so from the time he hit the ground, he was immersed in turmoil. And I like to submit to you and all the listeners who may have heard that Bishop Charles was one of the wisest person alive in dealing with the revolution. Morris Bishop, I'm humiliated that man so much. I can give you personal, not first-hand, but personal stories about him. Morris Bishop used to summon that man at will. Yes? Refer to him as boy. Have him stand outside Mount Wadley for an hour and a half. When the security is going to say, Comrade Bishop, let him wait. And he humiliated him. Bishop Charles would tell stories of young men who were his altar servers, who he confirmed, who just pull him out of his car on White Gum, people following him in the night when he come from Goa, humiliate him. As a matter of fact, one foreign embassy asked him, told him, this I know as, well, not firsthand, but related to me by him personally, that his home there's strong suspicion that his home is bugged. And he had to meet people outside his house in a plum tree and all of that. Another thing, you said that he kept silent and watched the atrocities and things. When Bishop Charles spoke, I remember the first issue of the Catholic Focus, the revolution shut that down. When he spoke, Morris Bishop summoned him and told him, don't get himself involved in politics. When he didn't do things that people perceive he wasn't, they say, he's on the sideline. I remember him saying, they're saying, Bishop, you're sitting on the fence. He said, I have people on both sides of the fence. I cannot take side in a situation like that. Another time, again, when Bishop called him and tell him, not him, Bishop visited the prison to Jerry Romain. Mr. Jerry Romain personally told me that in my office. He said Morris Bishop came to the prison visiting, and he said, Comrade, Mr. Prime Minister, we're here over 2 years, and what have I done? Why there's no trial? He said, it's not what you done. And boy, you won't learn, you know. That's what Jerry Romain said. He referred to, boy, you won't learn, you know. He turned to his entourage and said, Mr. Prime Minister, I am Comrade Prime Minister. He said, you're here because of your involvement and association to Sidney Charles and Cyril Lamontagne. And you are BBC trained. This morning I had the very fortunate opportunity to meet. I went to Guelph. There was a mass for the family of Carly Glean. And I was there, and who in the congregation was the secretary of Bishop Sidney Charles for many years. And I went to her afterwards. She just returned from the U.S. And I told her, I said, could you? She said, whoever said anything they don't know. At the end of it, that man was so traumatized by it, how Morris Bishop M treated him, the pressures of the revolution. One time he gave a letter, because when only Radio Free Grenada we had going on and whatever else, no information that was credible could have gone out. He gave a letter to us, to an executive member now of the National Democratic Congress, to bring it to Trinidad, to Archbishop Pantin, to say what is going on in Grenada. That person photocopied the letter and brought it to Morris Bishop and the party, and that is where all hell let loose on that poor man. But he had to be strong and pretend even to be strong for the people of Grenada. And I can tell you, Andre, KB, and Messi, that man stood his ground against, silently, as the Bible says, he was as wise as a serpent, but docile as a dove. And Bishop Charles, I can tell, before I continue, I'll wrap up just now, right about now. I met Miss Gloria Payne Banfield on Friday, and I asked her about the time. She said, Bishop Charles, he used to speak to me. And I know, she said, that man is a blessed man. But that man stood in the breach for Grenada. And KB, you may very well know that when the Americans came and they discovered documents and files from the revolution, among them was documents that stated that they viewed the threat, Bishop Sidney Charles, as a threat to the revolution. As a matter of fact, Morris said he's a counter. Yes? They view him as a threat to the revolution, and citing the way he was countering the revolution by organizing CYOs and Cusio movements and other groups in the church, importing over 20,000 Jerusalem Bibles. Morris Bishop viewed that as a threat. Yes? And all of these things he did to in a subtle way, but firmly, but with genuine love for all the people of Grenada. And you would not believe the love that man extended to Morris Bishop. And when Morris had problems with Gary, he was the one they would have gone to. He visited them in all their misery. And when Morris got in power, he turned against the man, humiliated him to the lowest degree. He tried to break him, but he was strong. So I think, KB, you saying that last week, for people who don't know, would really think that man was a monster. But for those of us who know, live with him, experience him, heard his story, and if you want to know anything about that man in this year, speak to Dr. Beverly Steele. You speak to that lady and you would know what that man went to. So I really think it was unfortunate that you castigated him, and what is most sad is that he's not alive to defend his name and his honor. And I really took great offense in you saying that. I listened to you, and sometimes, KB, with due respect, I think you come across as so due respect that you're the custodian of Grenada's history. But there are people who lived before, during, and after your time. And there are people who may have had first-hand and more intimate knowledge of some of the things you're speaking about. So I think we need to be careful. And I'd just like to end, Andre and KB and Messi, by saying something Bishop Charles, I heard him say at the cathedral, and later on I realized it was a quotation from Robert Stevens. He said, there is so much bad in the best of us and so much good in the worst of us that fault finding by any of us is unseemly, is an unseemly piece of work. Yes? And the other thing he said, when we point one finger at someone, there are four pointing back at us. A word to the wise. Okay, I really think we need to be careful in saying things that could really color tarnish and bring into disrepute people's good name and the work that they have done. Bishop Charles really worked and fought for the Grenadian people. He was a beacon of light for the Grenadian people. Historians will tell you that in time to come. And people, I spoke to his secretary this morning, former secretary, I spoke to Miss Gloria Payne, and I know from an interview we did with Dr. Beverly Steele on his tenure, you would be amazed. A lot of people don't blow their trumpet, but you have a way of working and to counterbalance what you're faced with. And it was a very, very difficult time. To repeat, he was placed in a rock and a hard place, and in my opinion, he did extremely well in managing the situation and the crisis in Grenada at the time. That's my contribution.
All right, one question. Hello?
Yes, hello?
One question. Are you at liberty to let us know who we are talking to? Because you know KB, you know Richard, you know myself. But if you don't want to, you don't have to.
My name is Derek Adonis.
Derek Adonis. Thank you very much, Mr. Adonis.
Okay. Yeah, brother.
Okay.
I won't prolong, but I'll say the indictment against Sir Paul Skun, Bishop Sidney Charles, and Maurice Bishop is for remaining silent. That's all we'll say. The indictment against them is for not saying anything.
Say that again?
I said the indictment against the church, Bishop Sidney Charles, the church, and Maurice Bishop and Sir Paul Skun, is for hushing them out. They didn't say anything. He said they said, but could you, as I said before, all those Christians who believe in Jesus Christ as the personal Savior, if only about 3% or 1% had took to the street in protest against the immorality and injustice committed against the Grenadian people, against the revolution, that revolution would have started dead in its track and revert to a state of sanity. And Bishop and all his people would have been alive today. But I'll say these people put the religion and the politics completely separate from one another. That is why these things continue for 4.5 years. Yes, maybe Bishop may humiliate him. He may try to speak to Bishop. But I know people who went to Bishop, and when they talk to Bishop, Bishop threatened to jail them and they pee in their pants. Exactly, but that shouldn't prevent him from mobilizing the Christian people and demonstrate against the revolution. If they put Bishop Sidney Charles in jail, he come and meet me in jail, nothing wrong with that? Why? No, he's fighting for the truth, he's fighting for justice. He can't say, Bishop Kidman can say he's afraid to go in jail for fighting for justice. If he had to come in jail and meet KB, nothing wrong with that. If they had to put Bishop Sidney Charles on a cross, like Jesus Christ, not because he represents God or not. He represents God or not, as the caller say. He should be the beacon light of hope. He should be the salt to stop the decay of death. I agree with all of that. But in my opinion, he did not do enough. He hush. He didn't say the only crime he commit is because he hush, you know. You don't commit no other crime. He hush, in my opinion. Same thing like Maurice Bishop, he ain't say nothing, give credence and legitimacy what go on. Same thing like Paul Skun. The only crime they commit, they hush. They didn't say nothing. That's the only crime they commit.
It could be atmosphere.
Well, that's why you don't have to afraid. How you could afraid?
Atmosphere cause them to hush.
No, you can't afraid. You represent God on earth.
Atmosphere.
You can listen. But fear to power is a dangerous thing. Fear to power is a dangerous thing. We see it. Big man see the revolution going down the road. They're afraid to tell Maurice Bishop he going wrong. Big man see Gary doing wrong thing. They're afraid to tell Uncle Gary he doing wrong thing. You think I was in any...
Let us take a caller, please.
Take the caller.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Mr. I cannot support KB there at all. And I can tell you the gentleman that spoke knows what he's saying. He was part and parcel with the bishop. He was there, and he's still there. He's there. He's one of the editors in the Catholic newspaper. So he knows what he's saying. And I cannot at this time support. The revolution did a lot of people, a lot of us was frightened to speak. Not only Bishop, a lot of us. I was frightened. I was threatened to be jailed. I was threatened to be jailed by a gentleman still living Guelph. He was telling us about good things the revolution do and how Gary killed people and what not. Well, the revolution killed me. Tell me if I say that again, that's sell for me. I hush up because I'm afraid to go down there. I am telling you, the gentleman is leaving right now. People were humiliated. There were people that told they have to work. Whether they want to work, they didn't want to work, they had to work. They tell them they had to work on Sunday, they had us to go. Top civil servants, they had us to go.
Okay.
Because they tell them if they didn't go, they become a counter.
Okay.
I am talking with facts.
Okay.
And something that you said earlier on, which I support, but I don't support nothing that you say in that thing they know. But something that I support. Yes, the NDC behaving like if they didn't remember nothing good was done. I listened to Terry Forrester this morning speaking to Mr. Tillman's daughter, and he tried on about 7 occasions to put words in her mouth, and she told him that she's not the best person to answer those questions.
Okay.
She told him that this morning. He was trying to get her to answer questions in his way, and she refused to answer in his way. She is a very intelligent young lady. I don't know. Very intelligent. She works with the health at somewhere in SU or whatever. She seems to be a very brilliant person. But he was trying. He told her that since the revolution, over 40 years now, Grenada have not progressed. A man as Terry Forrester saying that.
Okay.
Hypocrite.
Okay.
Top hypocrite.
Thank you.
Right? I could say it, and I'm saying it openly. People like that are top hypocrite. Because he knows what happened. He was given all kind of chances under the NMP government to build himself. So for him to say today that after for the 40 years of the independence, nothing have done, as Dickens has said, they are hypocrites.
All right, thank you.
I rest my case.
Good.
You want to respond?
No, 2 things I'd say there. The utterance of Terry Forrester is like Lasha Cutlass in water.
Leave no mark.
Leave no mark. Do you understand? It's you see, and I know people have their preferences and the way how they deliver things, and even on social media, meaning on WhatsApp and so, there are things certain people send me and I'll do so and say, "What you sending me that for? Don't use me to help you propagate your thing. Don't send that to me. I'll delete it and I'll tell them don't send stuff like that to me." Now I say this to simply say, what Terry Forrester sought to do this morning, or what he did, or what he didn't do, or whatever, is the NDC crowd that listening to that. When you're an MP and you're going to put yourself in position to hear it and he start to dig you and you have to get it off your chest, that is when you're helping them to promote their. If you don't listen to it, if no NNP listens to Terry Forrester and only NDC listen to him, that is business to them. But right, and that is what I mean. I don't have to listen to them to get distracted by what they will say, because anybody hearing that Terry Forrester can make such utterances, and I refuse to say what the utterances are. He can make such utterances, would know that this gentleman is a fraud. And I rest that case there. Now, in relation to KB, the situation with Bishop Sidney Charles, I was close enough to know Bishop Sidney Charles personally as a young man growing up, right? Because as the caller quite rightly said, he came in just around the crisis time in Grenada. So he was the leader of the Catholic faith in Grenada, and the leader of the Anglican faith in Grenada was Hoskins Huggins.
Yeah.
Archdeacon Huggins.
Yeah.
I grew up in the church, as you know. So I was privy to conversations. And I cannot say that I heard any conversations based on what you guys are speaking. Not that I didn't hear things, and I'll prefer to keep what I heard. But I cannot say I heard, these kind of a conversation. But I'll also hasten to add that Bishop Sidney Charles, I'll ask the question here, did his tenure as bishop, did it end when the revolution crumbled?
No, he continued.
It continued.
Yes.
So I asked this question, KB, to simply say, if it didn't end, if his tenure as bishop didn't end at that time and he continued, why is it that there is no record of all the things, all the humiliation and other things that he would have gone through? How come he did not raise them? I'm not saying that they didn't happen. I'm not saying that they did happen.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there's no record of him coming out and say, this is what I was subjected to. I'm just saying that.
What you're saying, correct? Because I've been hearing what this guy say for the very first time. So what I'm saying, maybe after Bishop died, he was still afraid.
Maybe.
He was still afraid. He represent.
And that was not time to be afraid.
No, he represent.
The same people, meaning, as the gentleman and Mr. Adonis pointed out, the Americans found information that he was a threat to the revolution.
Yes.
So all the more reason why he should have
speak
spoken out. He didn't. But I want us to rest this matter.
I want to rest the matter.
I want us to rest this matter. And rest it on the premise that, KB, you can't prove what you said, and nobody could prove what they said. So just leave it right there because he's dead and he's gone. Agree?
I agree, but I want.
Ain't no buts, brethren.
I just want.
Ain't no buts, brethren. Brethren, ain't no buts. And I understand, ain't no buts, brethren.
Not to reason that.
No, let us leave that there.
All right,
That's it.
Okay.
No buts to take us back into it.
Okay.
That's it. We leave it there and let it rest. You can't prove, he can't prove.
Okay, I just want to remind, when we was up, you notice there was painting that bridge in Bendy Corner. Yeah. And I understand the St. Patrick West will be having a function there on Thursday, some eat and drinks and so on. But I want to advise all who are attending that function, wear your mask. Obey the protocol.
I want my mask in there.
Put your mask in your face when you're attending.
I can't put my mask in my face if I didn't get what was allotted to me.
I have some mask for you.
Give me now.
It's big enough to cover your whole face.
Yes, give me what is mine.
We asking all the NNPites who will be attending that function in Bendy Corner, sponsored by the...
I hope you did not take out in my mask. Eh?
No.
Right. So give me. Give me now. Let me know.
I don't have to display it.
I wanted to display it.
Okay, in a while. Let me finish with my statement. All who coming in to support Brother Bello, the caretaker from St. Patrick West in Bendy Corner on Thursday, having a little eat and drink and little socialize. Not big crowd, but a few people will assemble there and to boost, give him whatever booster he deserve on Thursday. Please wear your mask.
Okay.
It's
yes. Go ahead.
This morning, after 7, I was home.
Well, you had to be home. You couldn't have been anywhere else at after 7 in the morning.
I said, where go from? I said, Messi boy, whole night we pouring concrete in St. David's.
Where?
St. David's down in the hotel down there.
Oh.
They say whole night they pouring concrete. 6:30 this morning they finish. Watching. And
Why the building not growing out?
It's a whole night. It's concrete pouring. And people still say nothing happening. You know? Right now. We are towing fines and David.
Yes, here is your mask, my turn.
3 masks?
3.
No, man. Not 3 you're supposed to
But
give.
I'm supposed to give out a lot.
No, you're supposed to give me a packet of masks.
No, you get 3 for you.
No,
And
KB,
top
not supposed to
quality.
do that. The gentleman told me I was supposed to receive a packet of masks.
He did not give me. He gave me 1 packet.
But KB, you can't just do something and give me 3 masks.
Well, because they asked me to give it out, and you let me give all the bus drivers and everybody I met. Yeah, 3 and you qualify to get. You don't qualify for more.
When Kelly Green Master will give them one?
Yes.
People asking me for it.
Yes, well, you have 3, you keep 1 and you give out 2.
No.
You have 3, you
I'm
keep
not
1 and you
giving-
give out 2.
I'm not giving anybody.
Oh, well, it's up to you.
And he have it in the bag.
Remember, you just say you're not a selfish man. You know.
I'm
I hear
not
what you
giving
say.
anybody. I'm not giving anybody. You selfish. So your selfishness passed through. I ought to give it up.
just-
No. I'll keep your selfishness.
I want to
Give me 3 masks alone.
And Donald, you don't see how we road network looking good these days. Why?
You just know that when you was complaining about the road no good, you
No,
remember you
the point is
complained.
that it
you
can't-
complained,
it-
you know.
this is
and
it.
I told you to wait, and you make all sorts of noise. And I told you, hold on, KB. There was an issue with the asphalt plant, but no, you continue to make noise and noise and noise, and you start complaining. And I say, yo, brethren, don't do that. Now you coming back? I'm gonna give me a chance.
But when time to complain, you must complain. When
I'm not
time to
saying-
congratulate, you congratulate. I want to already complain. Now it's time to to congratulate. I want to congratulate all the road workers, Tony and them boys. And now you tell me to tell Andrew Donald to watch road from Moya go down. I know what you tell me this yesterday morning.
From Moya go down, they do that 3 times.
When you don't fumbling.
Tell him I say that.
Tonio tell me to tell Andrew now, look at the quality of road in Dunfermline.
I agree.
He
that
said,
the
tell
quality-
Andrew Donald, come
I
and see
agree.
road.
But they've done it 3 times. Done Moya to Paradise. They've done it 3 times. They get it right finally. Congratulations. Up here, we do it.
I want to congratulate Tonio. I want to congratulate Jawush. You know, I want to Tatayu and all the guys who doing that fantastic work on the road, and you all making us feel proud. No more patching little pothole, but we paving with hot mix. And as Brother Gregory Bowen said that, we have 1 hot mix plant in Perseverance, that's enough. We'll put in another one in Telescope. So we're paving all the road throughout this country. And by the time the Prime Minister ready to say bye-bye, Grenada will look like a flower garden.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you all, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I heard Kevin talking about the road. Kevin, where you living?
In Belmont?
Not in Grenada.
Yeah.
Kevin, what you don't see the amount of holes and potholes all over where you go in Grenada here?
Yes, we're fixing it. We're just putting up we just get the hot mix plant right. We stop this patching and plugging hole. You don't see we paving now?
You're talking about Moya and down from it. But look at the other roads around the area.
Where? Where?
Going into Pinesfield. Look at the road.
Pointsfield? Where the road bad in Pointsfield?
Granbury.
Where the road bad in Pointsfield, ask you? Tell me, point out for me where the road bad in Pointsfield.
Huh?
Where the road bad in Pointsfield?
Start of the bridge. When they done in that.
On the bridge, you know, watch. When they finish him, listen, when last you pass in Belmont?
They blocked the road Friday, so you couldn't go there. So I didn't pass.
Well, that's why they're paving from Belmont to come to Pinesfield.
When was that done?
By next month, I'll finish.
Maybe look at the condition of the road.
Well, yes, you have to dig it up to fix it. We're scarifying the road. We're digging up all the weak materials. We put in different aggregate. We're compacting it and we put in hot mix over it. You know, patching it again. We have hot mix plants in 2 areas now.
Monk, you know what tree to climb, right?
So you're saying that they're gonna surface the whole road instead of patching.
Yes, that we're doing. If you look at what we're doing now, we're doing it in a professional way.
But I don't think there is enough asphalt to do what they do.
How you know that, you God?
It's election gimme.
Well, I don't mind you say that. Whether you fix now or after election, the most important thing they fix it.
Have a good day.
You is a NDC?
Both NNP and NDC.
All right. Thank God.
And what you is?
What you want?
What you is?
Both NNP and NDC.
Yeah, I know that.
All right.
Wow. You speak the truth. Finally. All right.
Well,
Richard, finally.
I speak a language.
No, you spoke the truth. Finally, Richard, I told you so. I told you so, Richard. Wow. I did never believe that he would speak the truth on air. Yeah, you expect anything?
I look at all your master, that's enough. Straight for all you. I share it.
I tell people, you get my son.
Yeah, I'll keep only 3. I have a couple of bus drivers.
How many masks you shared out, KB?
Boy, a lot. This field, a big packet.
Okay. The person who gave you the mask, that person is listening. I know they would send me some mask.
Yeah.
And I will not give you.
No, I have home. I don't need.
You have home in it?
Yes, I'll keep some in reserve for myself.
You see?
I have to protect myself. My life is valuable as your life.
And you're worrying about the police? You have to just say you have to protect yourself. And you think you know what the police say? You just say that. You said it, not me. That you have to protect yourself. You're protecting you first, correct? Correct. Yes or no?
I have to protect myself first.
Exactly.
If I don't protect myself, who will protect me?
I love where we ended. Just where we started.
Okay.
Because it's what? 4 minutes to the hour? Okay. We ended just where we started. The police had to protect himself and others. You are protecting yourself and others by making sure that you have masks home. I want to give you back the 3 so you'll have more masks home. I don't want you to ever...
That's an insult if you give me back.
No.
I wouldn't accept it.
Oh, you wouldn't accept it?
No, I wouldn't accept it.
I was willing to give it back because I want you to have enough to protect yourself. Do you understand?
When I give people something, I don't take it.
Not you. You did not give me
I
this.
give it to you.
No, somebody sent it for me through you. And I'm speaking to the person right now. They're listening. They will send some for Richard and myself. You will not get.
I did not keep it.
But
you tell me, you just say you're not a selfish man. All of a sudden you display the level of selfishness right in everybody's eyes.
No, that is not selfishness because I promised as Richard to give people. Now I have 3, so I just have to give 3 persons. But I promised about 10 persons because like, watch, we hear about the mass. I want mine, because you have to get your pocket for yourself. But instead of that, you share it out, you keep it home, and you bring 9. Yeah. You understand? You bring 9.
Anyhow,
but that's man good.
Thank you for accommodating me on the program today. And all who listen, thank you very much. And whenever I come on this program, I am not on a popularity campaign.
Neither am I. You know that. You know I'm not on a popularity campaign here at all. You know that. Anyway, guys, again, thank you so very much for being a part of the program this afternoon. Looking forward to you all. Oh, by the way, KB, there is a request on the Sunday before Independence, which will be not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that, Sunday the 6th. There is a request because there are 2 church services that day. One, which will be the local church service here. I'm not too sure which church it is. They probably would have put it up, but I've not heard as yet. And we'd like to carry that one live, right? Our local church service here, marking Independence celebration. Mm-hmm. And that one will start on around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when it starts. So we'd like to carry that live. Also, there is a service out of the United States for those in the diaspora that's going to be done virtual. And I thought maybe we carry that one too. So if we agree, think about it.
Yeah.
You guys think about it. Think about it. Don't answer now. Next Sunday when we come, we'll make the decision whether or not we'll carry both services. The one from the diaspora and the one here. The one for the diaspora is with, what's his name? I forgot his name. Hold on, I should have it on my phone somewhere. KB, hold on, you can't do that. You can't forget my name. Hold on. Let's get. I did see it somewhere. No, it's like I ain't see it again, KB. Okay, there it is. Yes, it's a virtual Thanksgiving service, and the celebrant. Where's his name? Come on. Do I need glasses? No, I don't. Terence Griffith. Reverend Terence Griffith. So he's a senior pastor of the First African Baptist Church of Philadelphia. So that service, and also the service is being held, yeah, that's true, under the auspices of the Embassy of Grenada, right? And Her Excellency Yolan Y. Smith. I know the wife.
You know this person? Yolan Smith?
Yes.
Okay.
I probably have to ask her what the Y is for one day. Young? Okay. If you say young is young. Yes. Quickly, we gotta go.
I want to encourage all persons to get registered. And obey the protocol. Please, this COVID is there and we have to protect ourselves. I want to speak to you, not about you. All the best. Take care.
Take care.
And I say to them, my final word, don't mistake my kindness for weakness.
I just can't live without you. No way. Ooh. Now many men will try to tell you bad things about me. Oh baby, let them try. I know one day their lust will die. And there will be no cause or reason for you to doubt me. Cause what I feel is real. The love that I have is yours, signed and sealed. Now I'm building my whole wide world around you. But baby, here's my request from you. Baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. Please don't take my sweetness for weakness. No, baby, don't take my kindness for weakness. No, baby. Cause our future depends on you. And no